Welcome back to another episode of The Art of War. Today I'm excited about our guest. He is a legend in his respective sport. He's an all-time great. He's a man who holds the UFC record for being the middleweight champion for a historic 2,457 days. That reign was from 2006 to 2013. He's a Hall of Famer, and he's arguably one of the greatest MMA fighters of all time. I want to welcome to the show, Anderson Spider Silva. Brother,
how are you, my
it's
brother?
good to be in your presence, man. It's good to have you on the show. I told you when you came in here, you know, you got the glasses on and you're very soft-spoken and you're speaking to everybody, hello, hello, hello. But man, you Anderson Silva, bro. It's like 20 ways you could take me out. Have you always been like this, just very soft-spoken? And
I mean, you know, life is just so amazing, and I think the world is so crazy, and when you have a time to pass something good for the human beings,
yes,
for the others, just do your best. You know, that's I try to make my life better, and the people stay with me every day.
So you happy, care how you treat people.
Yeah, you know, because the world is so crazy, and I think the martial arts give me that respect the others and enjoy the life, you know.
That's why it's important to not judge a book by its cover, to make sure you treat everybody nice, because if they misread you, it can get bad very, very quickly. I don't have a lot of time with you today, so I want to kind of jump straight in. Take me back to your early days in Brazil, where you first started jiu-jitsu, but it wasn't formally, it was informally with kids in the neighborhood because you couldn't afford to do formal lessons. Take me back to the time.
Yeah, you know, I started in a program in the school in a capoeira. My stepdad and my stepmom put him in a capoeira, and I start student capoeira in the school. My brother invited me to start training Muay Thai. I start my career in capoeira and training Muay Thai and Taekwondo. And one day I just looking Royce Gracie fighting in MMA. I say, oh my God, one day I go fight this sport, and everything's happened, you know. And I doing a tryout for play soccer, and there's no work, and that's very interesting because the same place have the tryout. I come a little late because I take the bus, and the bus is putting me late there. And at the same place is the team, the boxing team is there. And the coach just asked me, so you training? I said, yeah, I training, but I never trained in boxing in my life. And the coach said, okay, so here's your gloves and your stuffs. Come on, let's go training.
Boxing, just straight boxing.
Yeah, and I called my dad. I said, Dad, I go training boxing. And my dad said, wait a minute. You don't go there to doing the tryout for the play soccer? Yeah, but something happened here.
Something happened.
And I start training boxing.
Yeah.
And I doing my first boxing, amateur boxing there.
What age was that?
Oh, 17.
But at this point, that's like already 3 or 4 disciplines that you're already working on.
Yeah, I mean, I like to learn.
Okay.
And I like to learn. I training with Danilo Santo, Filipino boxing, and Guru Willie. And I like to learn the different disciplines because it's not about fighting. It's about you learn something for you become better person, you know. Mm-hmm. And that's I like to learn the different disciplines and put in my game to make my life better.
So then you started mixed martial arts in Brazil, and then you end up in Japan. And at this point, you know, you beat, I'm gonna try to get his name right. You were in you fought the Shudo.
Yeah,
Shudo
this
champion.
My first title belt in the Shoto, Hayato Sakurai, yes.
Yeah, so you beat him. This guy was undefeated with 20 fights. At this point, are you starting to feel like, man, this mixed martial arts thing, like this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do.
Yes, it's crazy because I'm in there in Japan, and this is the first time I realize I have a responsibility to my country. And when I see the flag in a Japan flag in a, oh my God, it's real. And yeah, I win this fight, and this is the first time I realize in my life I just fight for my country and working hard to uh, pass the whole technique I have for the rest of the world, you know.
And now from like 2002 to about 2006, you're fighting in Pride,
Yes.
right? You're fighting different places in the world and different places in the country, and then Pride eventually cuts you at a certain point after you lose.
Yeah, you know, in the time in the Pride, they have a lot of political stuff, you know, with my old team and between me and the team, and I come out the team, and the team have a good relationship with the promoters, the Pride, and I come out, and Minotauro helped me to come back to fight, you know, and Minotauro is my black belt master in Jiu-Jitsu, and helped me to come back to fight in Korea. I fight in different organizations. I fight for a long time in England, and UFC invited me to come to fight, and that's my resume about my story.
But were you, before they invited you, when did that like UFC become like a goal for you? We said, I want to fight there.
No, I'm fighting in English in UA. I fight in UA 2 times, and I start fighting in English. UFC start to come big in the moment, but Pride is so big in the moment.
At that time, Pride was
That
bigger
time, yes,
than UFC.
and much big. And I remember it is my last fight in Cage Rage in London. The guys call me, hey, UFC like you signed to fight there. What do you think? I say, oh, I mean, I'm happy here. I just have my last fight, OC, and I win the last fight. In a couple of days, the guys call me and I start fighting UFC.
Boom. New year, but the same excitement. Why? Because we teamed up with DraftKings. That's why.
Jump in on all the action with our partners at DraftKings. This is a historic matchup between Conor Benn and Eubank Jr., but it just got worse because he cracked him in the face with an egg, and it seemed like Conor really wanted to get a hold of him. Do you think is serving Eubank well for this, or is he in trouble now?
Eggs are expensive now.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, he had to hit him. That was a $10 slap right there.
Check out all DraftKings has to offer and use our promo code ATSFights.
With so many different ways to play, DraftKings has something for every sports fan.
Get in on all the action.
Check out all the DraftKings have to offer, either on the app or on the website. Tap in right now. Hold on, you still here? Come on. Go download the DraftKings app right now. All you new customers, use my promo code ATSFights. Level up your fight experience today.
UFC came around in 2006.
Yes.
You signed a multi-fight contract with them. I think I know the answer to this, but I'm gonna ask you anyway. They don't give signing bonuses, right? The UFC, they don't give a signing bonus, right?
Man, it's tough because UFC is a huge brand. I have a good relationship with the guys, and the moment I fight in UFC, I'm happy there. A couple fights with Dana, but I have a good relationship with the guys. The problem is the people talking about UFC because when you sign, you need to understand the game. You have a good lawyers, you have everything behind you for protect you is okay. But that's the problem. Sometimes you don't have that. You don't have good people for protect you, and you sign bad contract. That's the problem, the people talking about UFC. But I don't have nothing bad to talking about UFC.
So you say just make sure the paperwork is right.
Yeah.
And then the UFC is a good situation.
Yeah, because it's about business, you know, is for us is different because no, I'm fighter, I go there, I go do my best, but you need to understand you is a business too. You're the businessman. Doesn't matter you fight or not. You need to understand that because when this finish, it's only about you.
Yeah.
You know, and
You gotta have your money, you gotta have your stuff in place. That's what fighters don't understand. They think it's just, I think a lot of fighters are getting it more now. You see a lot more fighters putting the business cap on, and then they
Exactly.
take the hat off, the business hat off, and then they go to fight, which I love to see. But sometimes fighters don't understand that just because a promoter, hey, how are you? And they give you steak dinners, and they, you travel, and they say, man, you're my
Exactly.
guy.
Yeah.
All of that is cool. But when we speak about the business, the money, we
Yeah.
gotta make sure that's right.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's okay. The promoters is
They're promoters.
don't care. It's a
That's what they
promoter.
do, yeah.
It's a business. It's about numbers.
It's a business, yes.
It's a business.
Yeah.
You don't. I think the fighters, the athletes, they need to understand that. Make a good team, and doing your best. Okay, training hard, but understand the business too, because this is important for your future. Because when you finish fight, you have a business, and you need to understand that. That's more important. That's I talk to my kids every day.
Yeah. You get into the UFC in 2006, they don't waste any time. That same year, you're thrust into a title shot, the middleweight title against Rich Franklin. The same year you signed with them. How did that feel, walking to that octagon and then getting in that octagon and then just realizing that, man, I am fighting for the UFC championship in front of the whole world?
I think the Japan and Brazil, the fights I have in my entire life, helped me to the moment I take the opportunity to fight with Rich Franklin. And I'm training so hard. I remember I training so hard when I come to start fight MMA, and it's a great moment for me and for my team in the time, And I believe in that fight changed completely the game, inside UFC.
Really? How so?
Yeah, because everybody talking about Rich Franklin in the moment, and I'm just the guy,
Yeah.
and who's this guy? Oh,
New guy, yeah.
he's a new guy. But I fight a lot with the different big names in the sport, Carlos Newton and Hayato Sakurai, and the different guys and the different rules. And when I come inside the ring with Rich Franklin, I say, I'm prepared for everything. This is matter happen, I'm prepared for that. And I'm so happy in the moment. I remember that I just, I go win. I don't care, I go win.
You win this championship, and this sets off a historic run for you personally and in the UFC. From 2006, from that moment to 2013, 16 consecutive wins, almost 2,500 days, you're champion. How did you do that?
First of all is love. You don't love your job, don't do it. You don't love the sport, don't do it. That's the secret in my life. Yeah. Everything I work because I believe in and I love. And I love fighting, and I train every day. And
You love to train? You're a guy that loves to train?
I love it. That's the part that people don't like it. The training, they prepare. And that's I love so much, because every single time when I go to the camp training to prepare to the fight, I learn something new one. I have different people to help me to come better.
Okay.
Better person and better fight.
But how do you, I love talking to individuals in sports or just in the world that are excellent at what they do. They got a spirit of excellence about them. They're consistent and steady, year in and year out, day in and day out. How did you maintain the love for the training, the fire, when you're on top of the world and you're dominating the UFC for so long?
That's the secret. So you need to stay with the good people behind you to protect the other things. You keep your mind in one thing. Just do your best, but don't try to prove nothing for everybody. Just try to make something for yourself and create something for help the others. And I believe in the fight is one little point about the other things, the big things. Because I remember a lot of people come talk to me and say, "Oh man, you changed my life because you prove I can do everything in my life." And that's the big things. That's the big responsibility for when you come famous in the different sport. Doesn't matter, it's fight or this in the different disciplines in different sports. When you come famous, that's your responsibility to help the others to come better. And that's I working hard my entire life.
But you got people pulling on you now. Everybody's inviting you everywhere. The money's going up. You got family members you didn't know you had. They calling you, Anderson, remember me? I changed your diapers when you were a baby. How you dealing with all of that?
You need to understand the game and good family and good team to protect you. I have this problem with my entire career, but I have a good team to help me, and that's the good part. When you close with the good people and you stay close with your family, you protect yourself.
So you saying not a lot of new friends, not a lot of new faces
No,
that you should
definitely
accept in your
not.
circle.
I'm in the time, I have a lot of problem with the people because I put on friends to work. I help a lot of friends. I'll say, you go work with me, but I give the chance for the people come with me and grow up with me. But the people don't take the opportunity, and I say, all right, it's fine, but it's not my fault. It's not my problem. I give the chance for you grow up with me, but you don't accept that. You don't take that with your heart. It's not my problem.
Not my fault.
And I do my best for. I sleep every night very happy because I know I do my best for everybody work with me.
And even though you're dominating at this time, you still got some criticism. And a lot of times the criticism came from Dana White. He wanted you to engage more. He was quoted as saying that performance was the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen in the UFC. How are you as a champion at the level that you're at dealing with criticism from Dana White, who's at the top of this company you're fighting for?
Well, that's the problem when you win so much. They
want more and more and more.
and more and more. But that's I talk with my kids and my students too. When you start to win, you need to understand the business. Because in the beginning, you don't care about loss. Because you need to prove your value in that. But when you start win, you start to understand your business. And you start take care more of the business, and that's I fight more intelligent, and I say, I don't need you putting my life in danger or expose me a lot. No, I go fight for win. That's my game. But the problem is the promoters don't understand that. The promoters like to sell the fight.
Yes.
But that's my business. I need to keep my business there. Doesn't matter happen. What you talking about? What is Dana talk? It's you sell the fight, but you never fight.
I'm in the fight.
I'm inside the ring. That's my word. That's the word you never come. And what are you talking about? I can't talk to you about business, but I can talk to you about fight. About blood, about knockout,
right.
About sleep in the cage. Right. I know that. Yeah. That's my word. Don't try to talk to me about my word.
Don't mess with my word.
No, that's my word.
That's my canvas.
That's my word, and you never come inside here.
I don't think you can be successful as long as you were just fighting the same way all the time. Come here. Either you get me or I get you. You have to switch it up.
Exactly. Because
some fighters you can't. I can't come at you. I have to box you, and it may be a boring night, but that's the only way I can beat you tonight.
Yeah.
And then I'll give you a good performance next time.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Because you start to win, and the guys fight with you don't care because you lose for the best guy in the time.
Yeah.
But I'm win the best guy in a fight. But when you're there, you understand the game. Why ego supposed me to lose the fight? No, I go do my best. I go boxing. I go hold the fight here, and I'm win. My business is good. Oh, but the promote, I don't like that because the fight is boring, and the people say, this. Okay, I'm sorry, guys, but that's the business. I'm sorry, but that's
my
the
job
business.
is to win.
Yes.
And I hope I entertain you in the process.
Yeah.
But some nights I might not, but I still got to win.
Yeah, because that's the game. That's the business. That's the people don't understand. And sometimes the guy come, the promote come and, okay, I give $300,000 for who win the fight in the big battle.
Knockout, yeah.
And okay, that's good. But the fighters don't understand. The fighters don't understand the business. That's the problem. And okay, so when you see in general, how many fighters have a good life inside the game? How many fighters understand the business? And how many managers and promoters understand behind the fighters have a human being? Families, everything.
Human.
Yeah. And
Not very many.
No.
And it just is what it is. It's, I don't want to say it's okay, but it's the business we get in, whether it's MMA or boxing. To your point, though, you just have to know what you're getting into. I don't take it personal,
No, definitely not.
but I just got to know what I'm getting into. It's a business. I'm a commodity to you. I make you money, and that's just the exchange. We may be really cool and close, but it's business.
It's a business. Because when everything's done, it's only you and your family and how you understand the business for live the rest of your life, And I'm sometimes I feel sad because I saw a lot of friends pass in very difficult situation because they don't understand the game. And it's tough.
Where did you get the nickname Spider?
Wow, that's so interesting because I'm a big fan for Spider-Man. I grew up with my stepdad and my stepmom. Peter Parker the same, And I remember when I young, I just talked to my mom, my stepmom, Mom, you need buying the suit for Spider-Man. And my mom, okay, just stop talking about that. Because in the time, my mom don't have a lot of money. And one day I'm gonna come home and my mom give me the suit, the Spider-Man suit, And I put in I vest and I put on my uniform for go to school. And I remember in the class.
You went to school with that on?
Yeah. And I'm in the class. I just when the break, I just take my uniform and I use on the Spider-Man suit and with my friends. And the 3 times I think the coach called my mom and say, "Listen, you need to come to school because Anderson really think is a Spider-Man. I think is danger for him because he's doing a lot of crazy things." And my mom put into psychology to see I'm crazy.
Really?
Yeah. And the psychologist said, no, he's okay. He's a kid.
Yeah. He just loves Spider-Man.
Yeah. And that's my first contact with Spider-Man, and in my mind, I'm Spider-Man. But one time I'm in Pride, and I have the shirt, the Spider-Man shirt, and the lady present Pride just look at me and say, "Oh, you look like Spider-Man." I say, "Okay." He's joking. And the time don't have a black Spider-Man, but it's okay. I think he's bullying me, but it's fine. Right. And the night when you start to present the fighters, and just the lady say, "Oh, they're from Brazil, the Spider Anders," and
It
that's
stuck.
yeah,
It was a good name. It's
yeah,
a good name
it's a
because you
good
fought
name.
like that.
Yeah,
You're here, there, everywhere, you
Yeah.
know? So like most things, every good thing at some point has to come to an end. And in 2013, you found trouble with a fighter named Chris Weidman,
yeah.
who you were a heavy favorite to beat, but you end up losing that fight. How did you lose to him? I think I read somewhere where you said you didn't take him serious?
No, I take serious, but I think in the moment I doing a lot of bad movements, the technique movements, and I put my legs together, and I do a lot of bad things in the moment. In the second fight, I prepared more, but I broke my leg. But that's the game, you know. That's the people I need to understand, because when you go inside, you never know what happened to you.
You don't know.
And that's you need to understand the business, you know. And when I broke my leg, then in the second fight, I say, "Oh my God, maybe now I can't fight anymore," and I pass the bad things in my life. And 1 year, I remember 1 year, I'm very bad situation, you know, and when you're talking about friends and the people, everybody left. It's only my family and the 3 or 4 friends stay with me.
How does Anderson Silva deal with loss? You're a guy who won for so long. When you finally lost and things started to kind of unravel, how are you dealing and processing with that?
Well, you know, in a high level of sport, you know, it's tough to lose. Nobody likes to lose.
Nobody.
But I realize in the moment the one thing. So how I can use in the whole philosophy about martial arts to help me to come back. Because this matter happen is not about lose. It's about understand what happened
To lose.
to lose. And take that and try to understand the whole thing. And that's I put in my life, and that's martial arts helped me, because I just come down and talk to my old masters, and I talk to him. I remember my first fight with Chris Weidman. I talked to my master, and I talk to him and say, "What do you think, master?" And my master say, "He's a very old now," and I say, "Listen, when you come here, a kid, 9 years old, I just train you to become a better person, not for fight, but using everything for fight. And then with the fight, it's different game. I can't help you because that's not my game. When you come here, and then the old students come here, I help you and the students to become a better person." And the moment I realize it's not about fighting. Fighting is good because I need to fight because it's business. This has helped me to take care of my family, but what is more important for me? And when I broke my leg and back home and I see my whole family look me when I come out the car, they say, "You know what? I need to understand the game more than other people, because my family look me right now, you know, and in the moment I feel so sad because everybody just look me, and I feel that it's time to stop. I feel that in everybody, you know. It doesn't matter happen. I feel my family love me, and the moment I just, you know, now it's time to take care of my family and understand the the whole thing about my life. And the fight when I broke my leg helped me to learn a lot of things I never think about.
But you didn't stop. The fire's still there.
Yes.
And you ended up signing a new contract with the UFC, a 15-fight contract with the UFC. So you're feeling that. People are calling for your retirement. There's headlines out there, writers and fans, oh, he's old, he's this, he's that. But you end up signing a 15-fight deal in 2014. Why so many fights?
Because a born fight, I say, okay, let's do it, Okay, this is a good challenge. But now I go fight in a different situation. I go fight for make a story in the sport, to make something for people who understand you can do everything in your life. Doesn't matter happen to you. And that's I continue fight, and I win couple and I lose couple fights. But in the general, I know I help my generation to understand the game. And that's I signed the last contract with UFC.
UFC.
And my last fight, when I fight, I lose, and it's just so interesting because then I say, oh, I doing something bad. Anderson needs to stop because it's old. I understand it's a business, and I don't think, but a lot of people think, oh, he's a 40. In the time I think I'm 40 or 39, 37, I don't know. But for MMA, the people think it's too old.
It's too old.
I mean, I don't believe that, but in the moment everybody say, oh, Anderson needs to stop, and I'd say, no, nobody in this age need take a fight, and nobody have to do in the contract with the man have this age for fight. Mm-hmm. And I say, okay, it's not about him, it's about me. And I come back home and I go to visit my parents in Brazil. And in 1 month, the people call me and say, oh, how your contract with UFC? I say, no, I'm free. I don't have more contract with UFC. And okay, so my manager, Thalys, call me and say, oh, you have a fight for you in Mexico. Say, oh, really? When? In 6 months. Okay, who? Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. What do you think? I say, MMA? No, boxing. And I say, okay, MMA? Nice. I love this challenge.
Yeah.
And I call my coach and say, oh, and it's interesting because everybody just call me when the news start, say, you crazy? The guys go kill you and do that and that. You too old. And I say, yeah, I'm old, but it's not about old. It's about passion, love. And I train hard, and I go to Mexico and I fight with Chavez. And when I win, a lot of people, oh, man, you... I say, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I saw that fight. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. I mean...
I knew you were a good boxer, but he's been boxing much longer than you.
Yeah. But it's about passion. It's about love. When you love something, when you love your job, doesn't matter how is your job, is a fighting business or different business. So when you love and when you have a passion, you don't care. You go do your best. And that's you make successful, because you don't think about money. You don't think about prove nothing for anybody. You try to enjoy the moment, the construction to build something for the new generation. That's I try to do my best every day.
I think it's interesting because you have one mindset to get the championship and then dominate for as long as you did. And then when you saw that, okay, I may not be able to dominate like that anymore, you said you went and talked to your master, and then you shifted your mindset where now it's just about passion, it's about you had to shift your mindset because you weren't winning the way you were.
Yeah.
So you had to shift your mindset in order to accept that, but still enjoy what you were doing. Am I getting that right?
Exactly, because you don't enjoy, you don't love, you need to stop. That's I talk to my kids. My sons just come talk to me, Dad, I like to fight boxing, and I go training for fight boxing. I say, okay, so you need to question yourself, look in the mirror and question for yourself. You love this, or you doing this for prove something for somebody? And that's the point. You love is okay. You don't love, don't do it. You know, and that's I agree is more important in your life. You don't love, don't do it, because you come frustrated, you lost the time, and lose the time the people trusting you and believing you. And that's my point about fighting and the other things too in a different business.
Why did you never fight Roy Jones Jr.?
You know, it's my dream for many, many years to fight Roy, because I followed Roy my entire life. And I remember the first time I watching is Roy in Olympic Games.
88.
And the guys just stolen the medal.
They robbed him, yeah.
You know, and I say, oh my God, this man is a beast in the boxing. In the moment, I remember I have the DVD, the whole fight for Roy Jones, and I just watching. And I remember every single fight I have in MMA, I just put in the DVD, the Roy Jones, and watching the whole night to say, oh, maybe I go do this tomorrow. I go this, and I'm a big fan. And in the time when I broke my leg, I remember I talked to Dana White and Lorenzo, say, why don't make this fight, me and Roy Jones? And the guys, oh, because this and that and that. And I say, listen, that's something, you can change everything. And the guys, oh, but it's different sport. What do you think you lose? You lose, I'm lose, because it's a different sport.
Did you look at Conor and Floyd and see what they did?
I mean,
And Dana said that would never happen, and it ended up happening.
yeah.
So who's the greatest MMA fighter that you've ever faced?
Wow.
You faced a lot of great names. You beat a lot of great names.
But I think the great one, I have different guys, but
like one that sticks out that say, man, skillfully, he challenged me the most. He was one of the hardest ones.
I think Hayato Sakurai.
Really?
Because it's my first title belt. And I'm so scared because when I'm in Japan, the guys put him in the room. It's only TV in the room and and I put in a lot of highlights for
of him.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
This is dark and the highlights for
They try to set you up.
Yes, Hayato beating a lot of people, and I just wow.
Are you kidding
that's
me?
great. It is doing this a lot. It's
in your locker room.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a locker room. It was a room.
Yes, the room.
Oh, that's
and
crazy.
2 tables and
that's
the
crazy.
TV. It's a lot of dark. It's very dark. And I say, wow, but it's good because I watch him and I see a lot of things. And in the moment, I think Hayato Sakurai win 5 Brazilian guys. Mm-hmm. And I say, oh my God.
I don't want to be another
I'm
one.
in trouble. But I think the Hayato Sakurai is my first in a big challenge. And it's the very big name I fight in the moment. Of course, I fight with Dan Henderson, Carlos Newton, in a different legends. But I think because it's my first title belt, is a very special for me.
What is the fight that you never got that you were supposed to get, or that you wish you got, that the UFC never saw?
In UFC, I think me and George St. Pierre,
GSP.
Yeah.
Are you done fighting?
No, come on, no, never.
Really?
No, never. No, God give me everything. And I train every day, of course.
You still train every day?
Yeah, I train every day.
What discipline?
I training physical training every day.
Okay.
2 days a week I train jiu-jitsu, and the rest of the day I training boxing, and 1 day a week I train Muay Thai.
So if you get a phone call,
I'm ready. I'm ready.
so you don't believe in retirement?
No, I don't believe in. Of course, I have the different business. I work in my producing about movies. I have my schools, Muay Thai college. I have the Killer Bees with my partners. I have a Spider Kick brand. I have a lot of things. But my passion, my love is fight. And that's I keep ready. You know,
That's crazy.
it's crazy because I talk to my friends. They say, you know the special force and the army, that's the same. I'm ready. You know, I need one thing, just wear my opponent in the weight.
Really?
That's the point. You know, I
So-
train every day to this.
So you still got your phone on just in case?
Yes, exactly.
Man, brother, hey, listen, we could talk all day. We're gonna do a part 2 of this.
Yes,
When
absolutely.
we have more time, I want to dig into the details of your career and just talk more about those things. But man, I appreciate the time you gave us. It's an honor to be talking to you, man. A legend in the sport, a man who has been about excellence for so many years. And I appreciate also how you carry yourself too, because you don't carry yourself like a fighter. You carry yourself like a normal person. But we know.
Yes.
We know.
Thank you,
Appreciate
my
brother.
friend.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.